Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review. Since I did Wave 1, I figured, why not do all of Wave 2? X-Men 97, the animated series. These figures started coming out. The first wave came out before the cartoon. This one, I think, came out either maybe seconds before the cartoon did, or it might have come out as the first episode or two was playing. I can't remember. Of course, the season has wrapped now, and it's gotten nothing but good reviews. And I got the second wave. 3 good guys, 3 bad guys / anti-heroes. You could be the judge of that. So the Cyclops, the Jim Lee sort of Cyclops, I got again. This was really cool. It came out in a single pack a long time ago, but also came out as part of a 2-pack with Jean Grey in her Phoenix costume. So a Toys R Us exclusive, I think. Am I right about that? Was that? No, maybe that was the Death of Phoenix storyline, so he had a different costume. I can't remember. It seems like this is the third time we've gotten the Jim Lee costume in about maybe 10 years? 10 years or so? Nightcrawler's the second time. The Nightcrawler figure was extremely popular, and I think that thing is going for big money online. And while I didn't dig my first version out, a lot of reviewers online are saying this is a super upgrade because the body is new and everything about it is kind of new. So that is very encouraging. We're going to take a closer look at that. And Jean Grey, I think the difference between these figures and those kind of videotape figures that are Hasbro Pulse exclusives is I hate the cell shading. I don't like the cell shading at all. And I know that it's easy to wipe off. I've seen Robo do it on his channel. He's wiped out the thing and it looks pretty easy. I don't want to do it. I don't want to commit to the cell shading stuff. I did get a Pink Ranger that was cell shaded, but that was more for completion than anything else. This Jean Grey I thought looked like really wonderful, and I thought, yes, absolutely. Even though it's maybe not my favorite uniform, but I think it does harken back to the Jim Lee issues of the X-Men when she was on Team Gold or Team Blue. I can't remember which team she was on. So those are our heroes. Our villains, of course, Goblin Queen, the X-Cutioner, and Magneto. X-Cutioner, who had a crossover series from the comics, the X-Cutioner song, just really played a pretty minor role in the X-Men series. Just a super minor. I mean, anybody could have done what he did. It didn't have to be him, but it was him, and that's fine, I guess. He just was kind of a non-issue, which is too bad, because he was a much bigger villain in the comics. This is the Magneto I kind of grew up with. When I was younger, I was into New Mutants, and Magneto was in that uniform running the school. And that's kind of how I was introduced to him, more or less. Through classic X-Men, I got to know that, he was a bad guy, and maybe he was mentioned occasionally, but I didn't have access to kind of back issues. Their trade paperbacks weren't a big thing when I was a kid. It was the 80s. There wasn't a lot of opportunity to catch up on Magneto stories unless you had, $10 to drop on one book, and I did not. So that's the version of Magneto I'm more familiar with. But it's cool that we're getting 2 different versions of Magneto. We got the original version and this version. X-Cutioner looks really good. Like I said, didn't really have a big role in the cartoon, which is too bad, but very cool. Goblin Queen is dressed the way she is in the cartoon. She comes with little baby Nate, which is her baby and not Jean Grey's baby. Something they kind of drop on us in the first episode or two. I'm sorry if they're spoiler alerts. You should have watched the show by now. So, meh. Anyway, there was a Goblin Queen that was announced for the Ghost Rider Engine of Vengeance HasLab, but that HasLab never went through. So we never got a Goblin Queen from that. So this is the very first Goblin Queen we've gotten. And I think that Goblin Queen was more scantily clad. I know the comic book version was. It looks like, yeah. X-Cutioner looks a little grayed out here on the picture, but on the thing he looks, yeah, I guess if you catch him from an angle, there's a little bit of white, but that makes it kind of look silver, and this is very kind of lighter black. Maybe if you catch the reflection right, it'll look like that. So that is them in package. They all have kind of the action figure picture on the back, along with what I like is this, so that if you're in store and you go, well, what else is in the collection? Now you can hunt for those. Whereas if you're just buying one of these and they don't come with that, you don't know what's in the collection. You don't know what belongs kind of together. You have no idea what's going on. So those are the figures in package. Why don't we take them out and see what we think of them in person? Okay, now that they're out of the package, let's take a closer look at Marvel Legends series X-Men 97 Wave 2. Start with the one I'm least excited about, which is the X-Cutioner. Comes with two little things. This one, kind of a baton-like thing, and the other I put in his hand. It's like a spear. There are these little things that I thought you could put in his back, because the picture on the card showed everything sort of jutting out from his back, but he only has one slot. So what I did was I put this little part through his finger so he could hold it better, because his hand isn't really equipped to hold on to anything. So little spear, little baton. Wasn't really sure what this was. I don't remember it from the cartoon, but it seemed like because it was hollow, maybe he was supposed to wear it, or maybe it's on his head. No. Although that's a crazy look. You couldn't see it on camera because it was off camera. That was my bad. But one slot on the back for his gun. I left the plastic thing on. This came on the end of it when I was taking it out, so I don't know if that's for storage to keep the barrel straight. Either way, I'm keeping it on. So there. So the pistol's really cool. Little kind of what do you call it? Steampunk. Steampunk is what I would call that. Very cool. The X-Cutioner himself has some good sculpting details. He's got the cape. He's got that's not like a bandolier. I'm not sure what that is. The belt has the Friends of Humanity buckle on there. You can see that. Metal arm and kind of a trench coat. The boots have really good detail on them. It's kind of like silver here, and then it tapers down. He's got silver details. Just really like poop kicking shoes, if people are still using that term for boots. So the arms, don't rotate all the way. They're blocked. They're impeded a little bit by this. The head moves left and right and up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit. There we go. So you can't go all the way around. Let's see. See if I can see what I can see. Regular arms, so they bend back pretty far. And he gets bicep swivel. And let's see if he doubles up on the elbow. It is double elbow, but it only bends about that far as I can tell, because of the bracer kind of on his arm digs into the bicep. So it might have been that it did do it, but for the bracer, because you can see the elbow here. There's joints on either side. No pins. So all new sculpting for the X-Cutioner. I think the mid torso. See. It feels like it, yes, it has a rocker in there, mid-torso rocker, or it's not a mid-torso, a waist rocker. So you can tilt him side to side. The legs, because of the trench coat, I'm not going to try to bend them out too far. He'd probably have full range of motion without it. But he does have a thigh swivel. I see the cut for the swivel. There we go. And let's see, double knees. Let's see. Yes, double knees. Right there. Sorry, it's very shady. Here. Let's see, foot hinge, and ankle rocker. You can't see that. And ankle rocker. And that is the X-Cutioner. I'm going to put him back. For Cyclops, I have the more intense face attached to him. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see this teeth gritted. And then there's the normal head. That's very cool, very placid. I didn't know how to plug in the optic blast, but it just goes in. Like I was looking for kind of a slot or something more obvious, but I didn't need it. The engineers who created it got it in there. It doesn't even look like there's supposed to be a place to put it. Just amazing. I put it the side up that had the texture. The side that was smooth, I imagine that was more for maybe shooting light through, maybe for a photo, and it would look cool, catch the light. It would disperse it less if it was shot from underneath. I'm not sure. But I got his pokey visor thing. Press, shoot. All of that good stuff. He has 2 gesturing hands. Command hands. Go over there. No, go over there. And 2 fists. 2 fists. So I've got 1 fist on him now. And of course the shooty thing now. Of course he can use that as a command. He can be like, go over there. Go. I do a bad Cyclops. Go over there. No, that was even worse. Okay. Love the Jim Lee configuration of the costume. I've always loved this version. I love the classic version too, the very classic version. I've hated kind of all of the other Cyclopses that have come after. The Astonishing X-Men Cyclops and the more recent Cyclops, and just the X Factor Cyclops I didn't like. I didn't like any of the X Factor uniforms, really. Hated that X in the middle. I'm like, come on. Make it subtle and wear it on your belt and on your bandolier like a real man. I don't know. I don't know what I was going for there. But for Cyclops, you get... Let's go over the articulation. You get a lot of head up. You get a lot of head down. Feels like there's kind of a dumbbell joint in there. No. I just the one joint. Okay. A lot of side. Oh, a little. Just very little side to side. He's got butterfly joints, but mine don't go back very far. I wonder if I have to loosen them up. Oh, there we go. That's better. See if I can work that one loose. Good wingspan. Of course, he has butterfly joints, so it goes back a little bit further, though mine isn't going back farther. So I don't know if I'm just kind of doing it wrong or it's too stiff yet. Maybe I have to keep working it a little bit. Bicep swivel. Double elbow. Ab crunch. Waist twist. Ball jointed legs. Thigh swivel. Hidden on each side by the yellow band. Double knees. Foot hinge. Ankle rocker. And that is Cyclops. Now let's go over Magneto. I put his intense look on his face so I could put his gesturing hands on and make believe like he's using magnetism. But he does come with 2 fists for punching. And of course a more placid head where he's not trying to pass a stone or anything. I am calm. I am passing a stone. So the cape is all the way on, but if you want to take it off, that is your prerogative. I put the more intense head on, but it came with the calmer head on, straight from the package. Let's go over, let's see. It's pretty As far as sculpting goes, nothing really to it. But like I said, this is my New Mutants leader Magneto version. This is the version I'm most familiar with Magneto. He was a hero before he was a villain, and even then, I understood that the New Mutants sort of didn't trust him because he was a villain. So let's go over the articulation for Magneto. Oh my gosh, head almost completely down. A little bit of head up, but I wouldn't count on too much. 0 side to side. Good wingspan, like Cyclops. He has butterfly joints on the side, though they don't go back that far, but they give him an increased range of motion that's really nice if you're trying to kind of hold something in front of him. Bicep swivel. Double elbow. Oh, I forgot to do wrist swivel and wrist hinge on them. But the other two do have it. The other Cyclops and the X-Cutioner have a wrist hinge and a wrist swivel. Magneto, likewise, has the ab crunch and the waist twist, just like Cyclops. And the ball pin legs. Thigh swivel. Double knees. He has a boot swivel. Foot hinge. And an ankle rocker. And that is the master of magnetism, as the ladies call him.
I'm sorry, that's more my merman voice. He-Man.
Okay, now let's go over Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler comes with 2 expressions. The expression is either very, very bored, or the expression is I might be saying something. I don't know. These expressions are the same. Da? Sorry, that was more Russian than it was German. But the expressions are kind of the same. I don't really see what the difference is. This one's a little bit concerned. Oh my gosh, that guy's about to fire at me. I should teleport. And that guy's pretty calm, but it would have been nice to have a little more of an extreme expression. Of course, he has the expressive hands, but he also has 2 fists for punching. This Nightcrawler has really nice sculpting on the feet, on the hands. It's really nicely done on the tunic up here. Very classic. The tail swivels all the way around. I don't think it bends. It doesn't bend. It sort of stays in position, but it's nice that you can rotate it to get it into whatever position you want it in. The colors are classic, just really nicely done. I really like the figure. No pins in the elbows or the knees. Let's go over the articulation. Head up. A lot of head down. A little head to one side, but not much to the other side. Incredible wingspan. He's got butterfly joints, and his joints go all the way back. I'm sure maybe the rest of them with butterfly joints might go back that far, but Nightcrawler does it immediately without having to run him through some warm water first. Bicep swivel. Double elbows. Oh, he has an ab crunch. Ooh, it's a little hidden. Nice. And a waist twist. That clicks too. That's weird. Maybe it helps him hold his position. Ball pin legs. Thigh swivel. Double knee. Foot hinge. And ankle rocker. Nightcrawler is a triumph. He's a super cool figure. And he might be better the second time than he was the first time, according to most of the reviews. So, yay for me getting Nightcrawler. Jean Grey also has 2 portraits. One that's just kind of relaxed with the hair up, and one that's relaxed with the hair down, which is nice. She has 1 fist and 3 sort of expressive hands. I'm not sure. She's got 2 of the finger spread, and one of these that look like she's delicately manipulating something with her TK. I'm not really sure. As far as the sculpting goes, really nice details on the patches on the side and on the belt with the X on it. And just a really nice, like the layout of this. It's not just paint. I guess it's just paint. But the tops of it, ride the tops of the shoulders. All of it is just really one color and really nice. Goes right up into the head. It's all seamless. Really nice. And the color is really nice. Just a really solid looking figure. So let's go over the articulation. Pretty good. Head up. Really good with this head. If you move the ponytail out of the way, pretty good. The normal hair for her doesn't move at all. But you can move the ponytail around. And it's on a ball joint. So you can, I guess you can take it off. Good wingspan. Bicep swivel. Double elbow. Wrist swivel. Wrist hinge. She's a waist rocker that's a little hard to maneuver with. It swivels and things, but it gets a little caught up in the belt. Ball jointed legs. Thigh swivel. Double knees. Foot hinge. And ankle rocker. And that is Jean Grey coming at you. Last but not least, and the most difficult figure to stand, mostly because of the heels, so I had to put her on my toy case action figure display stands. That one's not even flat. I couldn't get everything perfectly flat, but she's also being held up by a part of her cape that touches the ground. So it's kind of a tripod situation, which is the only thing that I could kind of think of to stand her up. She's difficult. Difficult to stand up. Boo, Goblin Queen. Just kidding. Looks awesome. Difficult to stand up. Of course, she's holding baby Nate. And baby... Oop. Oh, sorry, Cable. Don't come back and haunt me one day. Very cool as far as infant accessories go. There's little baby Nathan Summers. Sorry if he's a little blurry, but it's him with a little X logo blanket on him. And of course she comes with two of these effects, one that's already on, and she comes with two fists for punching. Let me take this off here. And this figure is really, really cool. Figure's a little bit off as far as the skin color. It's a little pink, which I think is maybe on purpose. Maybe the animation had her as a little bit pink to sort of set her, give her a point of difference between her and Jean Grey. She's got the amulet. I think in the comic books, that amulet was Malice. I can't remember, but nice hair sculpt. So look good on Jean Grey if it wasn't for maybe the skin tone is off. But somebody probably has already painted it and put it on her. The cape is really cool. Really nice sculpting. The black on the outside, the red on the inside. The boots, really cool. Is kind of the spike heels and everything. Let me take off the action figure display stand. Just cool. The sculpting here, the little lines on the outfit. I don't know if that used to be maybe an Emma Frost torso, because I know there was one with the white. There was a White Queen figure with the Comic-Con Hellfire Club exclusive. So I'm not sure if that was reuse or not. I'm not positive. She has, like I said, the two sort of gesturing hands as well as the two fists. Let's go over the articulation on Madeline Pryor / Goblin Queen. No head up as expected. The hair blocks that. And so does the cape. The cape, even if she could look straight up, the cape sort of blocks that also. Pretty good head down. Good wingspan. Bicep swivel. You can't see me. double elbows, wrist swivel, wrist hinge, mid-torso rocker, double knees, foot hinge, and ankle rocker. And that is the Goblin Queen, and that is it for Wave 2 of Marvel Legends Series X-Men 97. I hope you had a good time. I had a good time. These are an excellent addition to my collection, and there's so many characters that they introduced in Season 2. I can't wait to get my hands on some of those. My feeling, though, is that they're not going to come out with any more until the next season. So hopefully we can expect maybe 2 more good waves of figures covering that season. So until next time, enjoy your toys.